This is Beyond the Front Door podcast with Lindy and Rhea. We're opening the door to real stories from our community. Business owners, leaders, dreamers, and doers, sharing the journeys that shaped them. Our goal is simple: to support, spotlight, and celebrate the people around us. Come on in.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Front Door podcast with Lindy and Rhea. We are very excited to have Miles DePrimo and John Weber
Yes.
with F3 Cheyenne.
Yes.
So thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
So before we get started on what F3 Cheyenne is, what we're wondering is if you could each tell us a little bit about yourselves, just kind of a 1 or 2 minute, how long you've lived in Cheyenne, where you came from, what brought you here, what's been your careers, what's your careers up to this point, and your family, if you wish.
Go ahead.
Sure. So, Miles DePrimo, I've lived here almost 4 years. My wife Kaylee and I moved here from Tennessee originally.
Okay.
We have a 18-month-old Theo and then another baby on the way right now. So life's
congratulations.
full of excitement. By trade, I'm a police officer. I work for the sheriff's office here. I'm a detective. So
Okay.
enjoy working out with this guy every week and, doing things with F3. Yeah, that's a little bit about my background. So
Awesome. Thank you.
John Weber, I've been here 32 years. So I've been, I am a native now.
Yes,
So,
I think we should come up with a number. What considers you a native?
Over most of your life.
Mhm.
then
Yeah,
then
there
it
you
kinda
go. There's
changes where
the
you're a
going.
native.
Yeah.
You're a
that
native.
tipping
Yeah.
point there where,
Yeah.
sorry, you are one of us now.
yeah.
But yeah, moved here when I was a kid, Air Force brat. But went to Central, went off to college for a little bit and came back. I've been in sales most of my career, a lot of it on the technology side over the last 12 years or so. So that's what I do. I do have a beautiful wife at home and 5 kids.
5.
5 kids.
What are the age ranges?
So I've got a 17, 15, 14, 9, and 7. So next year I'll actually have 3 kids in high school.
Goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So car insurance is a thing.
Yeah, buying cars and paying for car insurance, and
Yeah.
I'll have one senior, a junior, and then a freshman next year. So there'll be a little glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. So getting some moving out the door, but always busy with them and doing some things there, sports and everything else. Like
Yeah.
everybody who has kids, but
Well, lovely. Well, John, you and I were just visiting a little bit this morning about F3 Cheyenne. I had not heard of it before, but I'm super excited to hear sort of the platform or the base of what you're doing. So if you could start and tell us a little bit about that.
So F3 itself, F3 stands for Fitness Fellowship and Faith. And so they've been around since 2011. They celebrated their 15-year anniversary January 1st. And it's all free. So there's 5 core principles. It's always free, open to all men, held outdoors, peer led, and it ends in what we call a COT, a circle of trust. So an opportunity just to kind of share some life stuff with guys and try and continue building connection. And that's one of the biggest things about F3 is trying to kind of bring back some of that male community that guys lose over time. We get started in life and family. We might have a friend that we work with, or our wife's friend or our wife's friend's husband might end up kind of being
That does
an inherited
happen.
friend. But sometimes there's not really the same connection that comes with those ones we had when we were younger.
Like a high school buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think I have 3 sons and I grew up with all brothers, and I know how important those high school buddies are, as well as not only how important that they were, but I think you think in high school that you're going to be friends forever. And and sometimes that happens, but sometimes it doesn't. And I know that realization is kind of hard, or it's been hard for my sons. I know.
You get busy with life and things
Yeah.
just kind of shed.
Yep.
And that's one of the things. And so we try and bring that back. The fitness part, we work out. We actually have 3 workouts a week now, early in the morning. One's at 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock, different days of the week, where we just meet and, build that camaraderie in the gloom, as we call it. So we get to know each other. We work out side by side with each other and everything there. And then we get together and have some coffee afterwards, or find a time to do like a happy hour or something like that, other events, family events. And so that's the fellowship part. And then, because we're peer led, guys get a chance to kind of step up into a leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
And
they build the workout, or
build the workout. They plan the whole thing and run the whole thing and lead all the guys through that. I think right now we're averaging about 8 or so guys every workout, so we're doing pretty good. And then the fellowship or the faith part of it is not necessarily you had to go to church or anything, but a belief in something greater than yourself. And then hopefully through that growth in the leadership side, that actually is shown through community outreach and some of those other things within our home life, work life, and other places.
Absolutely. So I was asking you earlier, and you answered this for me, but for everybody else, so this isn't like a ministry of a specific church. This is a standalone program.
Yeah. So F3, as John was saying, sorry, we have nicknames in F3, and so calling him John is really hard because so his F3 nickname, and that's part of the whole thing.
That's
is
fun.
Do we get to know?
Yes.
Okay,
So his nickname is Sparrow.
Yep.
So saying John is very difficult for me because I'm like, I don't call him John. My nickname is Sousa. There's stories behind those. We can get into those later.
Even my kids call him Sousa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
fun.
I feel like that's a good thing to bring into this group, because that is how men.
Yes.
That's. I mean, my husband also. I would call someone a name that I don't even know your real name, because he doesn't even call you by your real name.
sure.
That's how you like bond and.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You come out for a workout, you get named, and then you come back, and that kind of brings you closer to the other guys that you're working out with. But as Sparrow was saying, F3 started in 2011 in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And so it was, I'm trying to think of the two guys that founded it. I'm going to get in trouble.
Dread and OBT.
Dread and OBT. And so some military background there. A lot of what we do has some military foundations. But they were essentially, to sum it up, two guys that realized that, men need that camaraderie. They need that, they need to come together and have something in common. And more importantly, we need to work out because that's, the biggest, one of the biggest foundations of F3 with the fitness portion. And so started in Charlotte, and then I'm pretty confident they didn't know how fast it was going to grow. And then within probably 5 years, they were all over the country, and now we're global. I think we're on just about every continent except Antarctica. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm
kind of
fairly
makes sense.
certain.
Yeah, it has grown a lot. I know they've got over 400 regions and over, I think when I looked, it was over 8,000 workouts a week spread out.
Wow, that's amazing.
So very, very large scale. And so that faith aspect of it, there's a book that Dread and OBT wrote called Free to Lead. And it basically it goes over the origins of what F3 is becoming, and will become. And I think they're on their second edition now for the same book. And basically just from the origins to now, and with the second edition, I think they've actually gone through and had testimonials of guys from all over the nation and what F3 has done for them. I mean, just some awesome stories. I mean, just guys that, whether they were, had a second career change, whether they had whatever going on in life, and then they find F3 and all of a sudden they have a different purpose. They have a different invigoration, which the mission of F3 is to plant, serve, and grow small workout groups for the invigoration of male community leadership. And so that is, we call it the Gloom. When we work out, that's called the Gloom because it's gloomy. It's dark. Usually it's cold in the winter times. It's not. Nobody
these are
wants to
all
go
outside.
Yes.
When you said
all
the
outdoors.
3, I was like, good.
Is there any situation that you cancel?
No,
That's a good.
Not that we haven't yet.
We haven't.
Well, I mean, this year doesn't really count.
No, but I mean, in years past, one of our other
do it.
we've set up, like, if the weather was below 0 wind chill, -10, we'd cancel. But we've
even
worked
know
out
if
in
we
worse
did.
weather than that, because
Yeah.
there's nothing like working out in sub-zero temperature with a bunch of guys.
To
Like
bond
it,
you.
yeah, it bonds.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
why it's called the Gloom.
Yeah.
We say embrace the suck. That's I know it's a
Yeah.
military term, but
It is.
we've never really wanted to cancel. We'll close if a workout falls on like Christmas Day. Usually, we may cancel, but
Yeah. We'll
It
discuss
probably
it,
depends
but
on
yeah.
the people in the group, right?
it depends, and it's not just like a hard and fast. It's a hey, let's see where we end up. But the cold weather has never been a reason to cancel.
No, one of the things I think about with that too is we always like to have somebody there. There's always, that's the mentality of F3 is it doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody there every morning that there's a scheduled workout, because what if that guy who needs this shows up?
Yeah.
Or we've had guys come in from other parts of the country who are traveling through or in town on vacation, and they know F3, they're part of F3, so they want to come out and get a workout in. So,
Yeah, and they don't want to go to some place where they're like, oh, it's not happening today. It got canceled.
Where
Where
are
is
they?
everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this kind of thing is important because I was just, I mean, so I have a background in prevention. I know sort of the upward trend we're having towards loneliness, but especially male loneliness. And then it was on the news recently that they're actually showing increase of numbers in loneliness across all demographics, all age ranges. And it's kind of funny because the very thing that was created to connect everybody, such as social media, is the thing that's kind of isolating everybody. And it's like this pretend world that we're living in on social media, but then some people just aren't getting out and actually experiencing, the real world and developing good, solid connections outside of that space.
And that's a good point. What we call that male loneliness in F3, we call that being a sad clown. That's a term that Dread and OBT used to describe essentially a man walking through life that, is searching for that next thing, searching ultimately for that camaraderie in life. But we call that being a sad clown. And I think every guy in F3, whether they've been doing it for 15 years or for 15 minutes, we've all had those sad clown moments. And definitely the COVID outbreak didn't help that. They moved workouts to online, and it didn't work the same way. They were doing Zoom workouts. I started in F3 back in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and when I started, they had just started meeting again in person. So it was like maybe May of 2020. My dad got me out, and because he had been telling me, he's like, yeah, I've been waking up and doing these Zoom workouts. And I remember thinking, what the heck? Like that's weird. And then they started going out in person. He, invited me out. I came out, and the rest is history. I've been doing it for almost 6 years. But yeah, the increase of loneliness in general, specifically in men, though, definitely was affected with, being locked down and all that. You're not getting to get out and see people. Everything is done through a screen. It's just not the same as being together and
Shoulder to shoulder out there.
And there's less accountability too, because if I say I'm going to show up to a 5:30 workout, people know I'm coming. I better show up, because if not, someone's going to be calling me, "Hey, dude, where are you at?"
Lindy,
If it's a Zoom workout, it's like I could have my camera off and be logged into the workout and be sleeping. There's less
accountability.
Accountability there. So.
Well, and two, as it relates to mental health and suicide, for a quick moment, I mean, ultimately, when people often, and men especially, when they're facing their biggest mental health crisis, it's due to some identity shift. Whether you are in the middle of it, whether a man is in the middle of a divorce, or he's changing careers, or he's lost somebody important to him in his life, this is often a period of time where crisis is absolutely kind of a cloud, if you will, hanging over. And so having a group to turn to, some that's accepting, non-judgmental, just I'm here to, and working out, I think, is a great one. I would often think like hunting and fishing or something like that would probably go hand in hand with that. But that ability to kind of really work out and sweat through some of it is probably really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's the same thing that, we would have if we were on our baseball, football team. It kind of brings that feeling back. And you get to know a few of the guys, you build some real core relationships with some of them, and then all the other guys are still there too, and you start building those friendships and start hanging out, watching Super Bowls together, watch a game on a Sunday, meet somewhere. We try and incorporate families as well, just that way we can help strengthen all of that and bring that community into a greater perspective than just the guys too.
Sure. So in terms of faith, does it matter which faith, or is it just, like you said, kind of belief in a higher power? So whatever that is for you, if you're Christian or if you're
Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish,
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yep.
There's obviously a core group. I mean, look at the community of the United States. The core is Christian, and so we're very representative of that as well.
But there's no expectation coming in that you have to align to whatever specific belief. And up to this point, I don't think we've had any issues with. I mean, we have lots of guys that believe different things, and we've all just meshed and melted together, and we're just like a big happy family, if you could say that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a big deal, because a lot of time, I mean, most religions want their members to like recruit into their religion. So you must create a safe space where everyone's entitled to have the faith that they have, or believe in the religion that they believe in.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of those things where when you're out there sweating, none of that matters. When you're out there beating yourselves up at ungodly hours, nobody's worried about those things.
Right.
And so you get that part taken care of first and start building those connections. And some of those other preconceived notions or things might fall away because you've gotten to be with them in a different set of circumstances. So those other things that might block people from connecting because of faith or wherever they
differences in belief system
aren't there.
You don't hear of that very often, do you? It seems like so much nowadays people really just want to spend time with people who are just like them, right? And not as much different. Or I think we can always find that there's always common ground, right? Even if you do believe differently.
So we'll say when we're working out, we'll say, push yourself, don't hurt yourself. Because we want guys to get a good workout in, but we're not out there trying to prove anything to anybody. We'll say it's you, meaning it's you versus you. You don't have to prove anything to us. We want you to challenge yourself and push past maybe your comfort zone to get better, but there's no expectation of, you have to be, at whatever fitness level. We have guys all the time. Well, I would come out. I just got to get back in shape. I tell them that this is where you come and get back in shape.
It is a hard thing. People always do that. Like, I got to get in shape to start that. You're like, no, you just start it.
Just
jump in.
Just come out. Yeah. We'll say things like, leave no man behind, but leave no man where you found him. And so, you come out there, we call it picking up the six, meaning, the last guy in, we're going back and we're getting that guy. We're making sure that we're not leaving anybody behind, but there's some encouragement in there to push them, to get to that next level or whatever. And we have guys that battle injuries and different things and still come out and they have to modify, a workout. I always tell people, like, if the reason you're not coming out is because you're worried that doing a specific workout is going to hurt you. Obviously, I'm not going to, you want to protect yourself, but just come out and hang out for 45 minutes. Do what you can, because it is more than just the workout. The workout's what brings us together. The second F, the fellowship, is what is the glue that keeps us together. And then we say the third F, the faith, is kind of the foundation. And so each F in F3 is important to making us who we are and why we keep coming out every week.
So on the fitness part, I have a couple questions, such as, do you ever do a challenge, or do you ever like make a plan where you're going to go conquer some adventure or some fitness challenge?
That's a good question.
There are some things like that, we do some special activities like Memorial Day. We do a MRF, and so that's a pretty common one around the U.S. We do a lot of those. There's some of the guys that do some stuff on their own as well. You know, we got some guys who like to run 100 miles.
Yeah,
good for them.
Sure.
That's a challenge. So, you know, not sure if that's anything I'd ever do, but you know, we've got what they call a CSOP, and I'm sure that's probably a military term too. It's completely stupid and utterly pointless is what it means. And so those are special workouts where we might create maybe a multi-day or, you know, an extended workout to challenge some guys. There are some of the F3 groups that are, there's one out east in North Carolina where they actually have like a relay race or multi-mile running race where they help benefit one of their local organizations too. So there are a lot of things like that that go on within F3 where they're trying to help use that fitness side to branch into other areas too.
Sure. So then on the fellowship side, you said you guys get together afterwards, or you meet up for a happy hour, or you know, for a football game or whatever the case is. That all sounds great. On the faith side, I think when you and I were talking earlier, you said when you're talking about faith, it's about community, right? So then is it that, I think you mentioned earlier, like sometimes people take on like a community project or go out and, you know, get involved in whatever program is interesting to them.
Yeah, that's ideally what we'd like to see guys grow into. You know, you come in a sad clown, you start working out and building that.
I love the terms. It's totally like military and like
it is. You build the camaraderie and you get to know each other, and then you start taking on leadership role within the group, and that starts growing throughout your life. And we want to see that reflected in your community, and that might be through some community outreach. And I know the one that you started when F3 Cheyenne got started was the turkey ruck for USI, for the unaccompanied students initiative.
Oh, sure.
And so was last year fourth year?
We started, our first one was 2022. Yeah, so our fourth one, yeah, I did do a little math in my head there.
Yeah, time flies.
It does.
So, but, you know, we're trying to grow that outside of just our F3 Cheyenne, because there is an F3 Laramie and there's an F3 Casper as well. So we're trying to see if we can help support USI in additional ways with that. We're talking about those things with those guys.
That's
but,
great.
You know, we get together, what is it, Saturday morning, and we all pitch in and buy a bunch of groceries and ruck them 5 miles roughly.
Yeah, it's about 5 miles, and I think this last year was probably our best turnout in terms of support. Because this last year was the first year we kind of included the public. So the first time we did, and this is still a work in progress. I mean, 4 years, but we're still like trying to make it better every year.
Yeah.
But our first year, what we did was we met up at King Supers. This was even before you.
Yeah, before me. 2 years.
And just whatever guys wanted to buy, they purchased groceries. We put them in our rucksacks, and then we rucked from King Supers about 5 miles down to where the home for the USI is. And then the next year, kind of similar. 2024 similar, and then this last year we actually set up a table a couple weeks in advance with somebody from USI.
Julie was there with us.
Yeah,
Okay.
and kind of got donations from the public. People were able to donate online directly to USI. They were able to donate food.
Shopping list for them that we could hand to folks as they went inside. So we were visiting with them and sending them in with lists if they wanted one, or they would stop by and drop off some money. And so we had that Saturday where we.
But did that end up being a lot of groceries? Were you rucking all of that?
Well, so those ones, I think
Julie was able to take those and distribute those through the 3 houses at the time.
Okay.
And now they're down to 2, unfortunately. But she was able to get some of that distributed out through the system to the other kids. And make sure that they had some benefit from that as well.
And the morning of, we still, you know, whatever guys wanted to, there's no obligation, but whatever guys wanted to purchase and donate, we had somebody driving in a car that we were able to put extra stuff in if we weren't able to get it in a bag.
Or the bread you didn't want to smash.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Precisely.
my chips.
Eggs, bread.
Chips are the lightest thing. That's what's
Sure.
going in my
Yeah, right. And then you don't. I can't crush them. It's like anything else.
Yeah, I mean, like, big frozen turkeys and hams and stuff make for a lot of extra
Yeah.
weight. in the
Yeah, they
bag,
do.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and I think maybe we had 8 or 9, maybe 10 people do it this year.
I think that's a really cool idea.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll
Unique.
carry our shovel flags, which the shovel flag is unique to F3. It's essentially marks where a workout is. So if you're ever looking for a workout, we always say look for the flag. If you're not sure, but we carried our flags.
So when you're outside and you're in the park, you put it in the
we planned it in a
Okay.
in a spot. Each of our workouts, and so for the turkey rec, we were carrying the flags, so everybody, honk their horn and everything like that.
A lot of support.
Yeah.
lot of support. I mean, people that are just driving by don't necessarily have any idea what we're doing. They just see a lot of people see the American flag and they honk their horn. Hey, see a bunch of guys out.
We're Wyoming.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's been probably our best partnership. I think that we do every year, and this will be our fifth year helping them out.
And then this last year, Rihanna got a hold of us for the Hike for Hunger. And so we had some guys out there to help lead that trail hike that they have, the little 1 mile loop or whatever it is that they have. And so we're hoping to partner with her again on that and Meals on Wheels to help them out and maybe do a little bit more if they need it.
So food and kind of food insecurity seems to be your target at the moment.
It's been where we've fallen into.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't necessarily think like that's what it has to be. That's just kind of
How
where
it has evolved.
how we've fallen into it.
Yeah. Well, everything. I mean, those things happen for a reason, so that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. We have some other plans for 2026 that we'd like to get involved in, and really, we're 2 guys, but F3 Cheyenne is made up of a lot of other guys that are willing to, not just come out and work out and get better themselves, but then that male community leadership bleeds out into their families, into their communities, into their employment. And so, we're always that book, Free to Lead, that's really the mantra is, we want to empower each guy within our region to be free to lead. So there's no kind of expectation of, you have to get approval to do this. It's like, if you have an idea, bring it forward. Let's see if we can make it happen. Because we have all kinds of guys that are like, hey, what about an idea? What about this? What about this? That's great. Yeah. Tell me more. We're never gonna shoot something down. As long as it's, meeting the mission and everything. And, we're always willing to encourage guys to
look at those
lead.
Opportunities.
Yep. So.
Well, we're having a lot of conversations about leadership this year, aren't we?
We are.
It's like you say the word and then all of a sudden that's what we're talking about. So, where all do you work out at? Have you guys ever worked out at the Saddle Ridge Park? Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like we've seen
one of our weeklies.
Yes, yeah.
Every Tuesday.
Now you can honk.
I know. Well, I walk. I'm out walking and I
okay.
see them. Yeah.
So depending on the time, we might be sitting there just chatting with each other, having a cup of coffee or drinking our water, or we might be out there in the field, doing something miserable. But yeah, Tuesdays at Saddle Ridge Park at 5 a.m. That's one of our standards. So I actually kind of run
that one
workout there. So we've got a few other guys that are from Saddle Ridge that come out and work out there too. So
I don't walk as much in the wintertime around there just because it's so windy. When you get to the top of streets, it's windy and cold. So, and I'm more on the east end. And so we just walk around around our block. But as we get into spring and summer, and then we're also walking a lot earlier. So I know there's been times you guys or someone's been out there, and I just heard there's this men's group that's there, working out in the mornings, but I didn't know the details. So
yeah, that's us. And then Saturdays is Cahill Park. And that's the original.
That's a good one
for us.
Yep.
So,
and they actually have do you use the workout space that they have there? Because they have a workout space there, don't they?
Little kids.
Yeah.
we use everything that's there. That I think that's one of the fun things about F3 is with the rotating peer leadership, you don't know what you're gonna do when you're going out. And so if who's leading, you can maybe guess, but sometimes you get surprised. We have guys that like to do more running. Yeah. We work out with cinder blocks. We call those coupons. And so
cinder blocks.
Sandbags. So we've used just about everything there is to use there, playground equipment, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, just whatever we need to do to maybe try and do a pull up somewhere, a dip, or incline, decline push-ups, or as we call them, Merkins. So
that's the other thing. So we have nicknames. All the workouts
Yeah, I
in
was
F3
saying, they have all the names.
they
Yeah.
have silly
Yes.
silly names.
We got our own
all of our
language,
workouts
that's
are.
for sure.
So we have something called the what is that, the Exicon.
Yeah.
And so F3 Nation basically has
it's
a legend of all of the workouts,
Yeah.
what they are, maybe a little bit about their origin, and guys can actually go on there, and if they think of a weird name for a workout, they can actually go on there and add it. And there's an approval process, as you could imagine, but I mean, it's like endless, thousands of just silly terms. And so when we have new guys come out, part of that, getting them caught up to speed is if we say, okay, the next exercise is Merkins or whatever, then this is what it is. And then most guys catch on,
it doesn't
monkey
take
see, monkey do. But
Yeah.
sometimes guys are like, and I even find myself sometimes at 6 years in, somebody will call it a workout, and I'm like, I need a demonstration for that.
That's
I don't
one
know
of my
what that
goals.
is.
Anytime I can find something just random and throw it at them occasionally and just keep them on their toes, I try and do that. So I use the Excon a lot when I'm planning my workouts, just to try and keep
Change it up.
going.
Yeah.
I was thinking as they were talking, all exercises have funny names. And oftentimes when I'm with my trainer and she'll say something like dead bugs or clamshells or whatever. And, and even though I've been doing it for years, especially when you have a trainer, like for me anyway, I'm just like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I don't always remember the names. So, but then I'm like, I have to Google what's a clamshell. I forget. And then you get in there. But I think that, what I'm wondering is if there isn't multiple names for the same exercise now that you guys are talking about it.
Yeah, you run into that. And even in the Exicon, there's sometimes a couple of names for a specific exercise,
Sure.
or, known as this. So, but it's pretty fun. And I'm sure we've got our own names for things that somebody else has named.
Because like things that we would call a certain exercise back east, sometimes it's different out here. Because I have found myself being like, oh, well, back in Tennessee we called it this or whatever, but it's the same thing. And so it definitely keeps you on your toes. But the Exicon is definitely something that
great resource,
a great resource, and something that keeps the workouts fun and different, I guess, than maybe another workouts you'd be doing somewhere else.
So is it kind of like just a mix of exercises to kind of help you build your workout for that day? Is that what that kind of is?
You can actually go through and pick and choose a style, whether you want upper body, lower body, different things like that. And you can find those exercises there. So, I mean, they've got it broken down pretty easily to find what you might be looking for, core stuff.
So I was going to ask, I'm assuming you have like social media for any guy who wants to like look at and find out more.
Yeah.
But do you not tell them the workout before they get there?
Yeah, no, you don't know the workout until
okay.
you show up.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
We actually communicate through Slack. That's our primary source of communication, is on our Slack channel. And so we'll just post a pre-blast saying, hey, this person's got the cue, and we give them kind of a what, why to come out, and whether
What's
or not
a cue?
So you're leading the workout. So I think it is derived from quartermaster, is where it's derived from. So another military piece there. But the cue will post on there that the workout's happening, and we ask the guys to hard commit, HC, to say, hey, I'm going to be there, because then you're
hold accountable.
You're putting yourself out there to be accountable to the other guys.
It's not loosey-goosey necessarily.
Yeah.
So
if
we're
you
asking
say
for that
it,
commitment.
definitely feel like you
gotta be there. Yeah.
And if you don't show up and you HC'd,
do things happen? Do things happen?
I'll piggyback on that. Life does
Give
happen.
me some crap.
What John is getting at is it's holding you to a higher standard. It's not just I might be there. No, when you hard commit, you're saying I'm going to be there. And if you back out, you're gonna have 5 missed calls at 5 in the morning. Hey, dude, where you at?
Yeah, there might be a penalty down the road.
There
You're
might
not going
be
to hear
some.
the end of it.
There might be
So,
some
Like paying for
burpees,
everybody's coffees or burpees.
That
Burpees, God,
burpees is
burpees
definitely
are the
one-
devil on earth.
we have various styles of burpees too. So
Oh,
yeah. And that website's public. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, our work, we say, you know, the workouts, they are open to all men, but the website's public domain. So if you just want silly workout names, you just go on f3nation.com.
a lot of them have
And-
videos to show you how to do them
Yep.
too. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so
So, if a man that's listening wants to get involved,
Yeah, what is the Facebook? Because I typed in
So,
F3
F3
and a lot
Cheyenne.
of things came up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's like 500 regions around the world. But if you look at F3 Cheyenne, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. So it won't be hard to find us, or go to f3cheyenne.com. We're there as well.
do you want them to like call you or connect with you before they come? Is
they're
that how
more than
they?
welcome to, because then we know to look out for them.
Sure.
You know, and
Okay.
we try and, you know, buddy them up with somebody
Mhm.
who can maybe help them kind of through some of those different names and help them through the workout, and just make sure that they're not, you know, being left behind. So we try and put them with one of the guys. We call them battle buddies in that instance. So
and we have an email on there too that guys from we call it downrange. If you're coming from another region, you're already like an F3 guy and you're traveling or whatever, you're going to a new region, we call that going downrange. And so we've had guys reach out that are coming downrange, whether they're driving through on I-80 going to Yellowstone or wherever they're going. Hey, you know, I see you guys got to work out, you know, and we have a map on our website too, I think, that shows pin drops of where each of our workout locations are. So you don't even have to necessarily reach out to know where it is.
so we have the local map for us on our website, but then if you go to the F3 Nation map, they have the same thing.
Oh,
there.
that's cool. Yeah, you can just see like nationwide.
And then if you're driving
Pins
through-
everywhere,
Yeah.
and you can find it easy.
globally. So you can see everything in the UK, through the few that are in Africa and the rest of Europe and Australia,
South America.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all of them and what day, what time they work out.
How interesting! It's an interesting way to see the world as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're out traveling to work out with different people,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is. We've
See
had
how
a few
everybody does
guys-
things.
Outside too.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah, we've had a few guys from Cheyenne that will be traveling for stuff, and they'll reach out. Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado's an easy one. We know those guys pretty well. So, but we've had guys in California and a bunch of other places too connect with F3
Mhm.
workouts there. So,
Awesome. Was there anything else you think our listeners need to know that we haven't covered?
I'll look at the camera. If you're a man and you are wanting to get in shape, what is it? Tuesdays, Thursdays, and
Thursday,
Saturdays. Look us up on f3cheyenne.com.
Yep.
We'd love to have you out.
And it's
There's
free.
no prerequisites, just
Free.
show up.
it's free and open to all men.
Yep.
So you just bundle up for the weather if you need to.
Yep.
Bring a pair of gloves.
Is there an age minimum?
Yes, yes and no. I mean, it's loose. We have a couple of teenage boys that are part of the group because their fathers are. So my oldest,
Sure.
We would
he comes out.
we would
occasionally.
standardly say 18,
Yeah.
18 plus, but
If they're coming with their dad.
if
or-
they're coming with their dad or something like that,
It's a little
it's kind of just a case by case.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So Lindy and I have a question that we ask our guests, and that we each ask. And so my question for you is, what do you think is the most important leadership trait for a person to have, or what is a leadership trait that you aspire to, or that you hold in the highest regard, that you're shooting for yourself?
So mine, I guess, would be just humility in the way to step back and say, maybe I didn't do that right, or let me listen to you and help me figure this out, you know, because I think a good leader can't always assume they have the answer to everything. And so being able to put yourself aside and work with each other is the best thing.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
To piggy on that, I was going to say accountability. Because so much of what we do in F3 Cheyenne involves other people, and we're not individuals. We are a team. We're a brotherhood, so to speak. And so there's times where we have to, you know, be accountable to others, and that's the beauty of it. That's one of the things that makes us who we are. And without that accountability, I kind of think that your leadership can falter, I guess.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Definitely.
that's what I would say.
Love it. I agree.
Okay, at this stage in your life, because we're realtors, we got to ask something that has to do with maybe like a home or something. So, at this stage in your life, what is home to you? What does home mean to you?
You know, it's just that comfortable, safe space where you can let your guard down and where you're with people you love.
That's a great answer.
I don't know how I could say that any better.
Yeah.
You said it really well.
That may become our we're going to put it up in here somewhere.
For me, home involves my family. Wherever my family is where my home is. So
Yep. Good answers. Love it. All right. So if people want to find you, f3cheyenne.com.
Yep. Or find us on
Or find
Facebook and
or
Instagram.
Instagram.
Just look for F3 Cheyenne. We're out there.
Awesome.
So
Okay, thank you. And for all of our listeners, as you know, Lindy and I are realtors here at Peak Properties. So if you're looking to buy or sell, we'd love to help you with that. You can find us at sellcheyenne.com, and of course, all of our social media channels, as well as Beyond the Front Door podcast on YouTube and any podcast platform that you are tuning into. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so that we know that you're there. And we hope you have a really great day.
Thank you.
Awesome.
thanks.